Hi guys, welcome back to the Moaning Yorkshireman and welcome back to the Love-Hate Relationship series. This one was originally going to be about 5 acts that I've seen live that I thought were absolutely shite. Now, I ever thought, and I did get to 4 acts that I didn't like, but then I remembered that there were support acts, as I mentioned in the previous video, and I thought it wouldn't be fair to slag off support acts when I didn't pay the money to see them. Now, if I'd have gone and seen Coldplay and it was shite, then I've paid the money and I have a right to complain. But when it's support acts and they're trying to, you know, be up and coming, I thought it was wrong of me to slag them off. And because personally, it might just not have been my cup of tea. Some people might have been in that concert and absolutely love the support act, you know, and that's fine. So I thought I'm not going to include them, but I am including one because it's me and I like to moan, because they were absolutely shite and god awful and no one liked them in the crowd, and I can tell you because there were no applause after any song. And I'm going to mention that one definitely, and then the other 4 things are going to be things I don't like about concerts in general. So here we go, we're going to kick things off with the act I didn't like and no one liked, and I don't think anyone ever liked, and it was Towns. Now, they were supporting Blossoms during the Cool Like You tour back in 2018, and the only thing I can really call them was god-awful. They were absolutely shite. I mean, properly shite. It was 3 lads that must have been younger than me, I would say. But there were, what do you call it when it's like, well, I'm trying to find another word for shite, but like a genre of music. They were like, just shouting. You couldn't understand a word that they were saying. They were Irish as well, which didn't help, but that was beside the point. You know, I listened to Irish bands and I can understand them. But these were just shouting down the microphone like, what the fuck is this? This is not like Blossoms at all. So why are these supporting Blossoms? And there were literally, everyone was just stood in silence at the end of the songs. There was no one clapping. You'd have just heard a smattering of like, and that'd have been it. You'd have heard nothing else. It was awful. And I just thought, do you know what? You're just crap. And then they were like, there was one song, I mean, it sticks in my head because I just thought, God, you're 12 and you just learnt a new swear word. Like, this next song's called Fuck You Motherfucker! Ah! And then they play guitar, fuck you motherfucker, fuck you! I'm like, what is this? What is this? Like I say, a 12-year-old has just learnt a new swear word and haven't included it in a song. I was like, oh, God, fuck you motherfucker. Yeah, that was an actual song over there. So yeah, they were shite, they were god-awful. And let's put it this way, the guy ended up, I don't know if it was part of the act or whether he was off his tits on something, the lead singer, or whether he just got pissed off that no one were clapping, but the last song, halfway through the last song, so the song hadn't even finished, the guitarist and the drummer were still going, but he then threw his guitar down and smashed it on the floor and just walked off the stage. So yeah, I don't know if that was part of the act or whether he just got fucked off and just left. But yeah, just threw his guitar on the floor and then just stormed off. Yeah. So they were shite. They were shite. They're in the shite pile, and that's the only act I'm going to say were shite. So the next thing is 4 things I hate about concerts. Now, 3 of them are during a concert and 1's before you go to a concert. So the 3 during is, the first one, people trying to push in front. Now that fucks me right off. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a massive, obviously, as you know, I'm a massive music fan. So when I get to a concert, I like to get in the queue, at least, you know, depending on who it is, between an hour and 2 before the doors even open. So say doors open at 7, I'm usually there for 5:30, 6 o'clock, somewhere like that. So I can get to the front, because I like to go standing, I like to get to the barrier at the front, I like to have a boogie at the front, get as close as you can, you know. And not only that, but the front's really good, because you've got somewhere to rest on, so you can chill out. You know, and you're not just stood in the middle of the mosh pit, you know, because that's a bit too rowdy for even me at times. But then you'll get people that'll show up at 8:30, just before the main act comes on, and then they'll try and push their way through all the crowd that have spent all that time queuing to get to the front and to get a place that they want, just for someone to walk in front of them, or for someone to try and push the way in front. And you're like, fuck off. Fuck off, pal. Do you know what I mean? It annoys me. Absolutely annoys me. And there's only two types of people that do this, and people that go to concerts will understand. It'll be a group of 12-year-old girls that are coming for a good time, that have had the first shandy. that thinks, oh yeah, we can get to the front and maybe we can have a nice look at the group, you know. It's either them or it's 40, 50-year-old blokes. It's no in between. It's those two types of people. Every concert I've been to where I'm at the front and someone tries to push in, it's either a 12-year-old girl or a 40-year-old bloke called Ian. I guarantee it. It just happens. So they really fucked me off. And there was one good one where we were at Stereophonics at Scarborough Open Air Theatre. Again, I mean, don't get me wrong, I know I'm a big bloke. I'm 6'2" for fuck's sake. So, yeah, I'm on barrier. People aren't going to really see much. But if you want to get to the front, you queue. Do you know what I mean? I'm respectful in terms of if people want to take a picture or want to get a quick video. I don't mind bobbing down for a song so they can do that. You know, you've just got to be courteous about it, haven't you? But at the end of the day, if you want to get to the front, you queue and get to the front on your own path. Do you know what I mean? You do it your own way. You don't just push your way to the front. But we were at Stereophonics at Scarborough Air Theatre, and I was stood at the barrier at the B stage, and there was this bloke behind me that was stood there, and he just went, oh, I suppose some kind gentleman won't let me in front of him, will they? Because he's quite tall. I just turned around and went, no, you thought wrong there, pal. Why have I just spent 3 hours queuing and then a further 3 to 4 hours stood up before I even wait for the main act to come on, just to let you in front of me? I don't get it, but yeah, that's what people have a thing about. So yeah, pushing in front, I fucking hate it. It does my tits in. Now the next thing on the list, third thing on the list that I hate about concerts is people shouting out during a song. Now don't get me wrong, people shouting out and interacting with the band and the crowd and things like that, sometimes it's really funny and it is amazing. I mean, people even shout out song requests sometimes and then they'll play a bit of the song or something. I know Kelly Jones did it a lot on his solo tour. But yeah, do you know what I mean? So I don't mind that, but it's when people start shouting out in the middle of songs, like when I saw, funny enough, Stereophonics again. It was at Swansea, the Dunner Park. It was the 20th anniversary of Performance and Cocktails. And Kelly was on the piano on the B stage, and he did Before Anyone Knew Our Name, which is a song about Stuart, the drummer, and his best friend, who obviously passed away about 10 years ago now. So the song is about him. Kelly wrote the song about Stuart. So he talks this intro and he talks about his life and he talks about him always being pissed and supporting Rolling Stones and he'd not been asleep and he'd just been sat at the bar all night getting pissed. And then he goes into this song called Before Anyone Knew Our Name, and it's a really, yeah, it's a nice song, especially if you're a Stereophonics fan. You can get the gist of it. But then this woman proceeded to shout out, "Come on, Kelly, it's fucking boring, this one." And I just thought, yeah, you've not really got the message of the song, have you? But that annoyed me. But then another woman shouted out, "Shut the fuck up, you slag!" So, I mean, it was a bit funny at the time, but at the same time, you think about the meaning of the song, and then people are doing that during it. I just don't find it respectful, and I just think, what the fuck are you there for? Do you know what I mean? If you're not a Stereophonics fan, then you don't understand the meaning of that song, then he's just talked about Stuart's life 5 minutes before it even started playing the song. You knew who the song was about, but yet you've gone and done that. So I just think, you know what, get in the fucking bin. I can't be doing people like that. But don't get me wrong, shouting out and calling out in between songs, I like the banter, do you know what I mean? There is some good banter at times. Embrace have it a lot. Happens a lot at Keen concerts as well. So definitely it adds to it, but just not during a song, especially if it's a slow song that's got some meaning to it. The fourth thing that I'm not too keen on about concerts is just the general pissheads. Now, don't get me wrong, again, I'm going to say it. God, I sound old, don't I? Well, I moan anyway. It's called the Moaning Yorkshireman. But yeah, I don't mind people going, having a good time, having a few drinks. A lot of people do it. A lot of people that I know do it. You know, even I've done it a couple of times with Stereophonics. And it chills you out. You enjoy your music more. You're not afraid to sing as loud. Got no problems with that. But when you get general fucking pissheads that are just obnoxiously loud and shouting in people's faces. We had it for Embrace at Leeds, actually. First Direct Arena. And this bloke was that pissed that he actually stank a piss. I think he'd pissed himself. And during Ashes, he decided to come barging his way through. So barged through everyone. Not even courteously, just barged his way through. And ended up standing behind me, my mum and my dad, and we were on barrier. So, obviously then, he starts getting into my dad's face and starts shouting at him, and then starts giving my mum some abuse, and I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing, pal? So my mum gave him a right boot. So yeah, it definitely felt that. He got a right whack, right kick off my mum. But I just thought, why are you doing it? You're not even going to remember the night. But the fact that you got to the point where you were that drunk at a concert that you pissed yourself. What's that all about? You've just ruined everyone's night that were there. I mean, it don't bother our night. We just have it as a talking point now. But yeah, I just think, why have you done that? Why do you have to get that drunk? You're not going to remember it. And then people getting thrown out for being drunk, and people getting thrown out for fighting. I'm just like, the fucking hell! You've paid money to come here tonight. You've probably got a taxi there and back as well because you're drinking. You've paid all your money for your ticket to come and not watch it. You've just come to get rat-arsed. Have a night out. Just go and have a night out and have a scrap with bouncers if that's all you're bothered about. But yeah, that annoys me. That, I mean, it's happened to us a few times, and you know, like I said, I've got no problems with people having a few drinks. Fuck me, I'm not, you know, like a saint. But just don't come to cause trouble. That annoys me. And then the fifth and final thing is not during a concert. It's not an act at a concert. It's not any support acts I've seen, but it's booking fees. My fucking God, booking fees. And we call loan sharks illegal. I swear to God, it annoys me. Now, I'll bring this up because it's a massive gripe of mine at the minute. But our concert to go see Keane at Scarborough Open Air Theatre in July has been cancelled. Obviously, coronavirus and everything, and Scarborough Open Air Theatre are shut for the summer, so there's no acts at all. Fair enough. So we're going to get a refund. I got my refund. I was minus £21 of my original booking for 3 tickets. So I bought 3 tickets for me, my mum and my dad to go see Keane at Scarborough Open Air Theatre, and with £21 down. It works out at £5.50 booking fee. Oh, sorry, processing fee. Sorry, that's what they call it. Bearing in mind, they processed nothing apart from took the money off you, refunded you. So it was £5.50 per ticket, which takes that to £16.50. Sorry, yeah, it was £19. And then the rest of it was for postage. Postage for tickets I've not even got. For a concert that's not even happening. So they've took £5.50 off me for processing fees per ticket, and then the rest of it for postage for tickets I haven't even had. Work that one out. How is that fair? And then the cheeky bastards Ticketmaster, for people that started querying why have I had postage fees not come back, they've said because they can't calculate who's had the tickets and who hasn't. I was like, hang on a minute, I don't pay for a concert and end up with 14 sets of tickets coming to me because they can't remember who they've posted them to. That's fucking bollocks. I can understand if you've got the tickets with you. Yeah, okay, you've had to pay the postage to send it to us. Fair enough, take it as a bitch. But we've not even had the ticket. We've not even had the tickets. They've took £5.50. Do you know what? It riles me. Absolutely fucking riles me. I'm pissed off with that. And I'm pissed off with it in general, to be honest. And I hate Ticketmaster. I'm going to say this now. I'm going to go off on a tangent, but I hate Ticketmaster. If you can use any website to use tickets, if Gigs and Tours have got the tickets for the artists you want to see, use Gigs and Tours. Fantastic website, the best one out there. I use it all the time, whenever I can. Unfortunately, Ticketmaster is the necessary evil because we're on O2, so you get O2 priority. O2 priority is linked with Ticketmaster, the robbing filthy bastards. So Ticketmaster, it does my head in. We're called ticket touts, for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? Ticket touts don't have processing fees. It's just bullshit. Utter bullshit. It annoys me. So yeah, do not use Ticketmaster when you can. If you have to use them, then use them, but don't use them otherwise. The amount of problems I've had with Ticketmaster, I didn't have my George Ezra tickets turn up. That were Ticketmaster. Had to go get them at the box office, which wasn't open at the time when doors opened, which fucked me off because I'd been queuing, couldn't get my tickets, couldn't get into the venue because I didn't have my tickets. Then when doors opened, the fucking box office opened. So don't use Ticketmaster is number one. I've also had, with Coldplay, we got the tickets very late. I think we only got them 3 days before we were due to go. Same with, who was the other one that we had tickets really late from Ticketmaster? I think it was Bastille or someone like that. So yeah, use Gigs and Tours. I'm just going to tell you now, but gigs and tours, the processing fees and postage fees, they are there, but they're less than what Ticketmaster charge. You get your tickets in plenty of time. I have never had an issue with gigs and tours, ever. Not one problem with them. I've got an account. I go to, say, approximately 15 concerts a year, and I'd say a good 12 out of the 15, whenever I can, are always gigs and tours. So use them. So that's my gripe anyway. Ticketmaster is shit, and processing and booking fees in general, I think, should be outlawed. But there you go. So that was the 5 things that I don't like about concerts, and 1 group acts that were shite and deserve mentioning and deserve calling out because they were fucking wank. So yeah, let me know your thoughts and feedback down below. You ever been to a concert? Was there anything that you didn't like about it? Anything that you thought, do you know what, you're wrong with your points, but I respect them? Anything, let me know in the comments section. Like I said, I'm always up for a chat. And yeah, thanks a lot for watching, guys, and much love.